This is State Representative Justin Jones, a member of the so-called Tennessee Three. On March 30th, 2023, in the middle of a House session, Jones, along with State Representatives Gloria Johnson and Justin J. Fearson, approached the area of the House floor known as the Well and interrupted the proceedings to shout with protesters who were in attendance in the gallery. The speaker immediately called the three out of order and called a recess. Their protest effectively shut down all business on the House floor for nearly an hour. And when these three members of the House interrupted the proceedings, they had done something that had never occurred during the entire history of the Tennessee General Assembly. So in response, on April 3rd, 2023, Republicans introduced three House resolutions to expel Jones, Johnson, and Pearson for breaking House rules, stating that they did knowingly and intentionally bring disorder and dishonor to the House of Representatives through their individual and collective actions. So on April 6th, the House moved forward with expulsion hearings against the so-called Tennessee Three. And in this installment, we'll take a look at the case of Justin Jones, who started off his hearing by saying the following.
The world is watching Tennessee. The world is watching Tennessee. Because what is happening here today is a farce of democracy. What we see today is a lynch mob assembled to not lynch me, but our democratic process.
And contrary to the representative's hyperbole, this is not a lynching. It's a hearing where he gets to defend himself from the following charges. Representative Jones shouted, pounded on the podium, led chants with citizens in the gallery, and generally engaged in disorderly and disruptive conduct, including refusing to leave the well, sitting on the podium, utilizing a sign displaying a political message, and using a bullhorn to amplify their protestations. Second, it is not a lynching, because even though he is 100% guilty of everything that the resolution states he did, Justin Jones is able to go in front of his fellow House members and make his case, even if it's a very poor one.
And so that is why I walked up to the well. I walked up to the well because you were pushing my people back. We brought a megaphone because you cut our people off and you cut their representatives off from the microphone time after time after time after time after time again. And there comes a time where people get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
So, for the record, here's an example of a representative being cut off. Here's Representative Justin J. Fearson during a discussion about election law.
Representative Pearson.
Yeah, see, writing legislation without a real problem of something that's particularly possible, instead of focusing on real problems that need real solutions, just like the killing of children.
Out of order.
So Representative Pearson was cut off for using his time to grandstand and incite the protesters in the balcony instead of, doing his job and speaking on the bill that the House is currently debating. Here's another example.
Hello, thank you. Again, we need to do something about gun control.
Representative Pearson, this is your last warning. Either stay on the bill as is, or you will not be called on. This is your last warning. I'm asking you politely to stay on the legislation.
Oh my God, did you see it? Did you see the democracy being silenced? Anyway, to help make his case, Justin Jones cited the state's constitution, which is probably the first time he's ever read it.
Article 2, Section 27 says that any member of the House, any member of the Senate has a right to dissent from and protest against legislation that they know to be injurious to the people.
When the state constitution says that a House member is allowed to protest, it means allowing a member to express disapproval of or objection to something. Of course, what it doesn't say is that a member is allowed to interrupt proceedings and start shouting and banging on the podium like a child. Then Representative Jones, who clearly wanted to be expelled, decided to take a moment and insult his fellow members of the House.
How can you bring dishonor to an already dishonorable House? How can you bring disorder to a House that is out of order? What you're really showing for the world is holding up a mirror to a state that is going back to some dark dark roots, a state in which the Ku Klux Klan was founded. What is disorderly is a body that has used voter suppression and rigged maps to take control of our state. Because of gerrymandered districts and voter suppression, you have stolen the people's house. But for so long, this body, drunk with power, has modeled for the world what we know as nothing less than authoritarianism. And today is the climax of that behavior. Democracy is no more.
What a pompous ass, right? Then Jones accused Republicans of being controlled by the gun lobby,
breaking a House rule, but exercising moral obedience to my constitutional responsibility to be a voice for my people, to be a voice for the Tennesseans who you choose not to listen to because of those NRA checks that are so hefty in your campaign funds. The obedience of this body to special interest groups like the NRA is injurious to the people.
And this wasn't the first time that Jones used this tactic to try and smear Republicans. Here he is just moments before the protest on March 30th.
Mr. Speaker, members of the other side of the aisle always wear pins that say the NRA. They wear pins with the AR-15 on it, but you're telling me that I cannot wear a pin with a picture of an AR-15.
Representative Jones, you made an allegation to a member today that they were wearing such a pin, and they were not. So you've heard the rule. We're moving on. Any further discussion?
In other words, Justin Jones is a lying piece of crap, which means he's perfect for the Democrat Party.
Look at the disrespect with which he has conducted himself today. He called our speaker a liar. He pointed derisively at our speaker. He insulted each and every one of you, effectively convicting you of being beholden to interest groups rather than voting your conscience.
What he was essentially saying was that Justin is an uppity Negro. How dare he point at the speaker and call a lie a lie? How dare he act like he's your equal? How dare he come before this body and not bow down?
At no time did Representative Balso or any Republican in the chamber mention anything about Justin Jones' race. But playing the race card is what bad actors like Jussie Jackson over here are best at. Now watch Jussie tell a story about an incident that didn't happen.
That's what Representative Balso was saying, and that's what he told me on the elevator 2 days ago when he tried to incite violence against me and got in my face and said, "You are a damn disgrace." And I said, "Representative Balso, hold on, let me pull up my phone. Can you say that again?" And he cowered and chose not to repeat it because he did not want the world to see what a disgrace he is for Williamson County voters.
Now, some of the most powerful moments of the hearing came from Republican Representative Sabi Doc Kumar.
Representative Jones, you've had a difficult time. You look at everything through the lens of race. Those are your experiences, and that's perfectly understandable. But sincerely, after becoming elected, you should be celebrating. You really should be. You should join the House, become one of us, make the transformation from being a person who, yes, we've known you demonstrating a lot, mobilizing the community, but make the transformation to be a representative who represents.
In other words, act like an adult.
You claim that you have 78,000 people to represent. But sir, you have not done that. You have mainly interrupted the proceedings. You have attacked fellow representatives. You have attacked the chairman almost in all committees. That is not representing your people. That is not going to bring credit to the people that you claim to represent.
And Representative Kumar is right. And to back him up, I will show a clip of Jones during a House Government Operations Committee. During the discussion of a bill, Jones accused several Republicans, including Representative John Reagan of Oak Ridge, of not wanting schools to be able to teach Black history.
And so this bill would allow students to report violations of divisive concepts to the administration, so to report faculty members. This is creating a rogue system that will allow students to target faculty for teaching what Chairman Reagan calls divisive concepts, but which we know are critical thinking and are things that to give an alternative viewpoint of America.
When Jones says alternative viewpoint of America, he means garbage like the 1619 Project, which is not history. But let's continue.
So my question is this, to Representative Reagan. You were born in 1948 in North Carolina in a segregated society. How would you teach that under this law? Your upbringing in segregation, where Black students were actually prohibited in a divided America from entering into certain establishments. How would you teach that, if not divisive? The society you grew up in, and that Representative Keesling grew up in, and Representative Carr grew up in, where people like me couldn't even sit at a table like this. How would you teach that under this law that is against divisive concepts when we lived in a divided America that many of you still want us to live in?
Okay, Chairman Reagan, would you like to respond?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And contrary to the gentleman's assertion, I graduated from an integrated high school in Western North Carolina. So I grew up in an integrated society, contrary to your assertion.
Now, on that same day, in that same committee, Representative Kumar argued against Justin Jones' narrative that America is systemically racist.
To say that America is fundamentally, inherently, and irredeemably racist is not the reality today. It is certainly, there was a time, it is a part of history. But today's America, if it's not good enough, let's work to make it better. Let's join together rather than continue to criticize America and keep on running it down.
So for clarity, Representative Kumar stated specifically that racism is and was a part of our history. But then Representative Jones went on a tirade and put words into Representative Kumar's mouth.
I'm very troubled by the statements of Representative Kumar, who, if it was not for the civil rights movement and the struggle of Black Americans, would not be able to sit here as an immigrant from. If it was not for the Voting Rights Act of 1965, if it was not for the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And so though he espouses the rhetoric of white supremacy, if it was up to no struggle, he would not even be on this dais. And so I'm going to be real today, because this is so insulting to people of color, to tell us that there was no racism in this country, to tell us that there was no history of struggle in this country, to tell us that we can't even teach college students about this.
So everything that Justin Jones said was false. Representative Kumar never said that there was no racism in America, nor is he saying that college students shouldn't be able to learn about the civil rights movement or Black history. There is not a single thing that comes out of Justin Jones' mouth that resembles the truth.
I mean, this is so shameful that we're sitting up here and we have members of this body smiling when Representative Kumar said that, because they were happy a brown face was saying it instead of a white face.
So obviously, Justin Jones is a racist. I know, you're shocked. So while Representative Kumar had the floor during the expulsion hearing, he brought up that incident.
I'm an immigrant, everybody knows. I have been in this country for 53 years. In those 53 years in America, I have never encountered a racial slur. I'm really not aware that any of that applies to me. I live a good life. Yet, you on tape call me a brown face. Yes, sir, it's on tape. It's on tape, okay? You can't deny that.
And yes, it's on tape. You saw it. And you can see why Representative Kumar would be a little upset. Who can blame him, right? And that wasn't all, though. He recalled an incident right after that committee hearing where Jones insulted him again.
After the committee meeting on that same day, you walked up to me. You had no business coming up to me. You were sitting a row or two ahead of me. You shoved your finger in my face and said, Kumar, they will never accept you. You said it twice, and you were so intimidating that the sergeant at arms, without my invitation, came and intervened between us.
Now, do I believe an incident between Jones and Kumar occurred? Absolutely, because Justin Jones has a history of violence. Well, let's watch Justin Jones throw a hot cup of coffee at lawmakers back in 2019.
After this, one male protester was arrested at the Tennessee State Capitol. It came just after House Speaker Glenn Cassida entered an elevator.
And now that protester is a lawmaker who is physically intimidating his fellow lawmakers. F***ing clown world, am I right? Now, despite Justin Jones' egregious behavior, Representative Kumar offered the following kind words.
I implore you that let us take it from here, whether you are expelled or not, but please come on. You are a talented young man. You have a lot to offer, but offer it in a way that people are accepting of your ideas. Join the society where you celebrate your achievements. I wish you all the best. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honestly, I'm not sure that I could be that forgiving or gracious if I were in Representative Kumar's position. I mean, God bless him. But instead of taking those words to heart, Justin Jones decided to completely twist Kumar's words.
It's sad what you just stated to me, and that's what this is really about. He said, you see everything under the lens of race. When you join this body, you should just become one of us. Just assimilate.
But Kumar didn't say that. He never said you need to become one of us. He said to join the society and present yourself in a way that people are accepting of his ideas. And to prove Representative Kumar's point about seeing everything through a lens of race, Justin Jones said the following.
That's very disappointing to hear, my friend. And what I told you was what you just exhibited. As the only member of their caucus who is not of the Caucasian persuasion, I said that you put a brown face on white supremacy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
He expected me to sit there and conform and accept things because that is the only reason that he's been accepted by these members here. But I don't want acceptance from you. I want acceptance from the people of my district. I don't want approval from you. I want approval from the people of my district because I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make a change for my community.
Anyway, after about an hour and a half of listening to this activist cosplaying as a politician, the House voted to expel Justin Jones 72-25.
Pursuant to Article 2, Section 12 of the Constitution of the State of Tennessee, I hereby declare Representative Justin Jones of the 57th Representative District expelled from the House of Representatives of the 113th Assembly of the State of Tennessee.
And in a normal society, that would have been the last time you'd hear from former Representative Justin Jones. But unfortunately, this is Clown World.
Tonight, with hundreds rallying in support, Nashville City Council moving swiftly to reinstate expelled lawmaker Justin Jones. Local officials using their powers to return Jones to his seat in an emergency meeting.
Ugh, idiots. And despite the manufactured outrage from Democrats and the media claiming that Jones' expulsion was an assault on democracy and that the citizens in Jones' district would no longer have representation, well, it was always BS because everyone knew that the Nashville City Council was always going to reinstate Jones. But there is some good news, however. Technically, Jones is an appointee, and as such, the state requires that there be a special election. And until that happens, Justin Jones isn't allowed to sit on any committees to claim that, all of its members are white supremacists. So the question is, will Nashville voters re-elect a racist to be their state representative? Well, all signs point to yes, but I'd love to be proven wrong. Anyway, that's all the time we have for now, so look out for part 2, where we'll take a look at the expulsion hearings of Gloria Johnson and Justin J. Pearson. Until then, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. If there is a next time.